People move to the Silicon Slopes for the outdoor lifestyle, but wintertime can quietly change all of that. So when you move to the Silicon Slopes, winter can have a real effect on your lifestyle. It could kind of be the make it or break it conversation you might be having when you're thinking about moving here. The first few winters, I gotta say, I was pretty depressed. I didn't know what it was. I was just like sitting around. All of a sudden, you're not hanging out as much as you did during the summer. People kind of become hermits. It's like the hermit season, which can make it really tough if you're not into skiing. I mean, man, when I first moved here from California 20 years ago now, I hadn't really got into snowboarding yet. So, and I didn't have a pair of skis moving when I moved here. So I was really bummed out. It's different when you come from a state where it's sunny most of the time and folks are outside doing things and you see them in the neighborhood. That's typically how it's like here in Utah. But when you get to the winter season, people tend to insulate themselves into their homes. Even families, you won't see, like if you have family here in the state, like all of a sudden you're not hanging out as much as you did during the summer. So people talk about the cold weather for seasonal depression, but one of the things that they don't talk about is the lack of light. And that starts to happen here in Utah. You really start to notice even before the daylight savings time situation. It becomes dark real quick. So during the summer, I mean, you could be out and about till 8 o'clock at night and you still have some really nice light out there, you know? I followed a golf ball up till 8:30. But come wintertime, I mean, it almost feels like around 5:30, it starts to get pretty dark. And that has an effect on people when you don't get the same amount of light that you used to. And you start shutting down your day earlier. Or if you're working and you're commuting home from like more than a 30 or 40 minute commute, by the time you get home, it's dark. You're coming into town and it's dark outside. That has a real effect, I think, on how people see their lifestyle change throughout the winter months. I would say definitely, if you're a skier or not, get up to the mountains. One thing I like to do, even now that I'm getting a little bit older and less risk, I like taking less. I'm a little bit more risk averse. Is I will grab my dog or maybe go up with my wife and go up the canyons and just do kind of a snow walk. It's just pretty up there. It's really quite beautiful and it's quiet, and you get out of the winter inversion that we get here in Utah. Like when storms come through, it's really nice because it clears it out, and like we had a rain last night, and so most of the air is nice and clean. But if you're in between storms, you'll end up getting the inversion here in not only Salt Lake County, but in Utah County. And so getting up above all of that, up into the resorts, and maybe grabbing lunch or just taking a walk up a canyon is really pretty beautiful. So definitely get yourself out doing that. But I think when I was moving here, I was like, didn't really think about what I was going to do during the winter. I didn't really cross my mind. But having some activities to get out is very important. I'm kind of a gym guy, so we go to the gym. I'm there every day of the week. It's funny, during the wintertime, most people get out of shape. That's when I get in the most shape because I'm not golfing as much, so I tend to spend more time in the gym and in the pool. So that helps. So who's winter great for here in Utah are people that like routine. I tend to get into more of a routine when I'm in my winter months, making sure that I'm up on my hike in the morning, and then gym, and making sure I'm taking care of my time is a lot more structured for my work week. And then things that are around the house that I need to get fixed or take care of take priority, because I'm not out and about as much as I am. And then things that we need to kind of pay attention to while we are in the winter months are taking care of things inside the house. Also, I try to make it a point to, after the holidays, make sure that I'm contacting friends and getting out with friends and loved ones more than I'd have to during the summer. Just because during the better months, you're out, barbecues, everybody's around the neighborhood, and you're out mountain biking with your mountain biking friends or golfing with your golf buddies. But during the winter, when those things aren't available, you don't want to completely ignore those relationships. So it's a good idea to get in the habit, even before the winter hits, of if you get together for coffee, like later this afternoon after this video, I'm going to go get together with my mountain biking buddies and we're going to go have a coffee later in the afternoon. So making sure that you're having some touchstones throughout the month with the ones you love. I think one of the important things to think about when you're transitioning over to Utah, as far as seasons go and being how you're going to human during the wintertime, is what neighborhood you're in. When we first moved here, we were in a neighborhood that was very, most of the folks that were around there were really hunting oriented. It was kind of more of a horse owners community, and they do winter different than a golfer or a mountain biker or a skier would do winter. So when we moved to Alpine, people were still very active, but they were active in a different way. So there was a lot of indoor pickleball opportunities, or afternoon get-togethers that were inside, groups that would go hiking up to Horsetail Falls, which is just up from Lambert Park here in Alpine. If you got into certain golf groups, you would have guys that would go and do golf trips down to St. George as a group. So knowing what neighborhood you're in and what community, how your community vibes is super important. So we have this video that will really break down the vibes of all the different communities here in Utah County and kind of how that might fit for you and your lifestyle. So don't forget to click on those videos and see which one might fit for you. So if you want more information about how winter months might affect how you live here in Utah, give me a call and I'll talk you through it.